Like, just because I don't watch a lot of television and I don't do natural yoga, and the reason why I do all of this because so long I felt so much worse than everyone else, and I felt like my beauty was the all and everything, and the only reason I do this is because I feel like I'm much better and I come across as better than doing better, and I'm still learning and growing and keeping up with everyone. And Kundalini yoga cults are based around practices of Kundalini yoga exercises and breath, the fire breath, for example, and the yoga practices that have to do with the downward facing dog and yavana, and the meditation pose in the lotus, and doing Om Sat Nam. So in this contention and in this thought, my brain was working better, more coherently when I was doing these exercises, but the fact that I was in the cult kept veering my attention towards the nerd on the left. And I used this new signature move to conceal all of the wake of this cause. And back in the day, I high prayed to God, and I said, God, please give me Kundalini yoga courses. And God sent me a coupon, and that in that way I had the best week in my life. And why did I call it a cult? Because Cobain, and I think that would be the defining factor in Soul Cole or not. And it was really hard not to like in the first week of it, the 1st of February. I was having so much fun. I didn't even know that I was in a cult. All I knew was that it was crack and it was po and under the reed. And so is Guida. And the morning routines and folk that in and personal sadhanas before we started. And in the lunch breaks, I was doing my affirmations like, hi, I'm pure light, I am pure love, and I am pure a mountain. And so in these lunch breaks, on the plate and the break, I was all of the Kundalini, and I was turning loudest. I was taking notes, and I knew that I bait, and all of this was going to make me win at this cult because I'm very competitive, and I was the most enthusiastic member of that cult, and I didn't complain once. I was taking all out in. I was doing all the things to fit in, and I've seen it. Like I've seen the things for the very thing that they are, and sometimes they can be jarring. And in this cult, I can feel like I'm in the jar myself, that I'm famous, and so am I. And on the third day, I didn't really care that much about the outcome in this a shadow ban kind of technique. And my shadow said to me that the parts of you that will come out today are basically ready to confirm your shadow identities and your failed work. And I felt like I was at a place when I was really ready to address that and to heal it. And they accepted me for who I am. And I had a sharing kind of circle of Kundalini monks and monkesses and monkeys. And everybody running around like crazy. And Tedesco code, and forever, and for whatever reason, it was also cold at the same time. Like it was going from hot to cold. And for Kundalini worker, it's all just made up. Of course, it works, and I'm lubing a lube. And how does it work? Well, through Kundalini Yoga, that is teaching you to control your own stuff. And if you can control all of it, you can control your world. And it will help you express in colors. And the expectation of your aura to expand and grow and to attract more beetles into it is going to subdue. For example, study if you give two milkshakes, and I say one of them is really decadent and indulgent, and the other one is slim shake. More calories in the first one for the first shake, and regardless for the which one you get, you're being primed by being told that it's decadent, and where worth color is of the same shade. And this is the woman talking in regardless what IQ that you got. So how does this apply to your Kundalini topic? It works because it radio works, and I believe that it works for me so well in particular because I believe that in Kundalini, you have to believe in God and Dwag. And I feel like money. If I have a lot of money, it's easy for me to get more money. But if I don't have any, it's really hard to attract it because I'm trapped in a similar case of the law of attraction and fate. And if nothing else, I really an unshakable faith in guards. So it's credible, and it's really hard to get any fate. If you really have a solid frame as something greater than you, then it's easier to believe that anything is possible, and anything becomes negative in the face of that fake positive at the cost of everyone and everything else. But if you can control that dance and that universal breath, which you can't, because God created a rock that's too hard for him to lift, because he can do anything, and he created that rock that's too hard for him to lift. So that's how I see it. And that all laid on the floor listening to this recording that's just said, excel, excel, excel in the Shavasana. And that time I had the inkling in the mind, is this a cult? And then I started creating new models that I had to pray again. And I was tolerating it. And I was in this module receiving my certificate so that I can become a yoga trainer, complacent and complacent and complete lit, accompanying the teacher training process. Is that what would happen? That's how it works in the expectation of the zone. I'm in it, and I control my breath and my mind in it, and then I grow in back.